outside? Should I run and hide? How do I take my company worldwide? Do you love the law? Did you watch Hee-Haw? What's the weirdest thing that you ever saw? What's it like in court? Favorite sport? Can you help with my book report? Is my hair too long? Am I right or wrong? And do you mind if I sing along to anything? Ask Alan anything in the world.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Ask Alan, the podcast. I'm Alan Crone, the CEO of the Crone Law Firm, and I am excited today because we have the brand new executive director of LITE Memphis, Larissa Gregory, with us. Larissa, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much. Glad to be here.
As I said to you off the air or off the line or whatever, I love what you guys do. We featured your organization on the show before, and we're stoked to do it again. Tell us a little bit about LITE Memphis and what's your mission?
Yeah, we're coming up on our 10th year of being here in Memphis, and our mission is to really equip African American and Latino students with 21st century skills to create wealth and close that wealth gap that exists in our city. And we really think that comes by building entrepreneurial skills and helping secure high-wage jobs.
Right. I mean, it's great to focus on that because a lot of people these days want to be entrepreneurs, but they it's almost like saying I want to be an astronaut, but how do I even start doing something like that?
Yeah. So what are the skills that I need? What are the intangible and tangible things that I need to know to get started? And that's exactly what we do with and for students through direct workshops, through community workshops, through our youth entrepreneurship program and our Innovation Fellows program. And it's not just like a one-stop shop. It's a wraparound of services that follow students for 8 years. And so really making sure that they're not just equipped with what to do, but how to do it, why they need to do certain things so that they can secure those high wage jobs and or start their own business themselves.
How do you identify potential students to join the program?
Yeah, so we do recruitment efforts in the community. We go into schools, we go into community centers, we partner with different local organizations to present workshops during their programming, just to share about LITE Memphis and to find students that are interested. There's so many different programs in our city that it's really just getting out there and talking with kids and talking with their families and sharing what we do and seeing if it's a good fit.
Is there a specific profile of student that you're looking for, or is it just desire and interest that is the qualifier?
Desire and interest is definitely a qualifier, but we are looking to serve students that have been historically marginalized. And in our city, to close the wealth gap, that's targeting African American students and Latinx students. And so we definitely look for desire. We definitely look for students that want to be held accountable to high expectations and want to learn new things. We want kids that are excited. We want students and young entrepreneurs that are excited to pursue their dreams of having their own business. But we also are targeting students that have been historically marginalized. And in our city, that's African American students and Latinx students, really working to build up those skills that have to be present in order to access funding and to be in front of boards and to request different things and learn different skills that can help close that wealth gap here in our city.
And that's not it's not an academic pursuit, right? I mean, you've got students that have launched products and have businesses that are starting to scale.
Oh, absolutely. We have students that have been highly successful in launching their own businesses. We've been able to partner with other organizations locally to support their seed funding, such as Epicenter and some other local organizations. But yes, definitely have students that have products on the shelf. Right now, we're located over at Aero Creative is where our office space is. And in that space, we have students that have dog treats on shelves. We have students that have artwork that's hung up. We have students that have storefront space. So definitely, it's not just something conceptual. It's actual product on actual shelves that are being sold.
Can you brag a little bit on some of your current students and give our folks an idea about the kind of businesses that come out of LITE Memphis?
Yeah, so right now we're just starting up our fall cohort. They're going into the third week of programming. We have 39 students that are registered with this cohort from all over our city, from all different walks of life. And we are really excited to begin to hear about their ideas. Now, they're in the very early stages of coming up with ideas. They're learning the differences between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset, and some of those intangible skills that need to be talked about before you just stand up in front of pitch night. Now, what's pitch night? That's when we're going to actually see what our students have come up with, what our young entrepreneurs have come up with during their programming. And that comes up in December. So some of the ideas that I've heard rumbling so far during our programming has to do with starting a clothing line, has to do with supporting young mothers with daycare opportunities, has to do with face care, and has to do with skin care and different things that our students feel like there's a need in our city for those types of businesses. But as the program goes on, I imagine that those ideas are going to change and they're going to become things that have logos and that have brands and vision behind them to really meet needs in our city. So, you know, everything is pretty conceptual right now, but come December at pitch night, when students are sharing with the community what they've come up with, I'm telling you, you all are going to be impressed with what they come up with.
Well, that does sound exciting. Talk a little bit about pitch night. I've talked to some folks that have participated in that, and as you say, they to a person, they rave about how impressive the projects are. That it's not this isn't a situation where somebody comes in with pie in the sky dreams. They come in with a business plan. Tell us about that.
Yeah, they come in with a detailed business plan. And that is the culminating event, if you will, for the 16-week program that our students go through to truly become those young youth entrepreneurs. And during that pitch night, they're going to do exactly that. They're going to pitch their business and they're going to share their business plan of who they're going to serve, how they're going to serve that specific demographic, how you can access them. They're going to have a logo. They're going to have a headshot. They're going to have their Instagram, or they're going to have a website, things that can be accessible, but people will be able to see the product. They will be able to see the product really of the 16-week program, and really just celebrate with the students the work that they have accomplished, and be able to begin to dream with them about how to purchase and different things of that nature. So we really look forward to pitch night as we prepare students across those 16 weeks of programming.
How many cohorts do you have in a year?
We have 2 cohorts in a year. We have a fall cohort and we have a spring cohort, and we're already accepting applicants for our spring cohort. And we had to wait list some students that applied for our fall cohort, but there wasn't space. And so we really think that bringing kids through in cohorts gives them an opportunity to learn from their peers, to see that there's other people, other students across our city that have the same dreams and hopes as they do to become young entrepreneurs and close that wealth gap. We also have workshops, which is another part of LITE Memphis that maybe isn't spoken about as much, but those workshops are made available throughout our city on different topics to help students be prepared to be entrepreneurs or to take those high wage jobs. So those workshops happen with partners such as bridge builders, with community centers locally. And then we also are starting up a pilot with the Hickory Hill Community Center, seeing what the interest is for programming at the 8th grade level. And so getting students in before they get to high school. And so we're really excited about that as well.
Yeah, sometimes it's just a matter of giving people I call it a view above their horizon,
Right.
and if they can see what's possible, then their own creativity and innovation can fuel them for a long time.
Yeah, it's definitely there. And I tell you, there's good ideas in the minds and hearts of our students here in Memphis. And, I think you're pointing to exposure, and I think exposure matters. And one way to provide exposure for our students is through our mentors. So we're always looking for great mentors to come alongside, because mentors play a huge part in sharing the journey that they've had in their business or in their job and their expertise during our Sunday programming, which is when we meet on Sundays. There's 3 different sessions that students have the opportunity to be a part of on those Sundays. But during that time, mentors are meeting with them, they're sharing with them, they're pushing their thinking, they're helping them come up with concise and clear business plans. And so if anyone, I'm gonna do a plug here, Alan, if anyone
Sure.
is interested in being a mentor, if you have time on a Sunday, an hour or two, we would love to have you to share your expertise to build up the skills in our students.
Well, you and I haven't talked about this, but I'm going to volunteer right here, and I encourage everybody to do so.
Yes.
It's one thing to write a check and to help financially, which is important. Don't get me wrong, but those personal relationships are just as important as the money, maybe more important than the money. So it's something I've wanted to do for a long time, and so offline. Tell me how I can join the mentor program, and then that'll tell everybody else who's interested how to do it themselves.
Well, Alan, I'm going to sign you up myself since we're right here. But for everybody else, you can go to litememphis.org and you can click on get involved, and it has a drop down for mentors. And if you just want to click on that, you can fill out your information, and then we'll contact you very, very soon.
All right. We're putting the website address up, and please go to that if you can be a mentor. Help a young person become successful. I guarantee you, if you do it, you will not regret it.
Absolutely.
I'm saying that before I've done the first minute. I just know how powerful it is.
Yes, absolutely. And like you said, mentoring with a student is absolutely needed and desired. Giving financially is also great. Coming alongside us to make the program happen. And so if there's interest in knowing how to donate, that litememphis.org is also a place to go and learn more how you can get involved in that way as well.
All right. litememphis.org. If nothing else, check it out to see the great things that they're doing. This is how we grow the city. The next Fred Smith, Kimmons Wilson, Robert Church is out there, and that's how we make our city great, is having great businesses grow up organically, Memphians doing it. And it's time that more folks get the opportunity, the exposure to do that, who are from communities that just have not been served, not been elevated. So Larissa, I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now in our city, less than 2% of all business revenue is generated by African American or Latinx business owners. Yet we have 70% of our population being African American or Latinx. And so it's our desire for businesses to be brought up in our city that look like our city and sound like our city, alongside all of the other businesses that already exist as well. Yep.
Absolutely. Well, let me talk about Larissa Gregory for a second. Every superhero has an origin story. Tell me about yours. How did you get to this work?
Oh, that's a great question. So my husband and I moved here almost 10 years ago. We moved here from Cookeville, which is a small town between Nashville and Knoxville. I'm a Knoxville native. My husband's from Nashville, but we met there. and went to college. And we came here.
TTU?
And yeah,
Yeah,
Tennessee Tech. We did.
yeah,
Yeah, we
TTU.
both
That's a great
attended.
school.
It is a great school. Got my undergrad there in psych and business marketing, and then got my graduate there in educational psychology and counseling. Moved to Memphis on a whim, and fell in love. And I think that's everybody's story. I hope it's everyone's story. And not only did I fall in love with Memphis, but I accidentally fell in love with education. It was not my first choice. But when we got here, I got into a school over in Binghamton and just fell in love with being in the presence of kids and families and in our community. And so stayed there as the dean of students, went on to be a dean of students at another school in South Memphis, and an assistant principal, and just really, really enjoyed that work. And our youngest son, we have 3 boys, 11, 9, and our youngest son would have been 3 now. But tragically, he lost his battle to some concurrent terminal illnesses in March.
I'm sorry.
And about 3 years ago, I came out of education and started a consulting firm so that I could be close to him and his needs, because we knew that his medical needs would be great. And I wanted to be present for every day that I possibly could. And so during that time, started a consulting firm working with nonprofits and schools. And after Houston passed, I had this reignited fire that I wanted to get back into the presence of schools and to be with kids and in our community. And so I started looking, and I found LITE Memphis, and it felt like the right next step. And so with my background in education and in counseling and consulting, it seems like it's going to be a good fit. And I've been here. Today's my month anniversary, Alan. So it seems like it's going to be a good fit. But that's my journey of what's brought me here. And, I've met a lot of kids, a lot of families, a lot of parents. I've seen a lot of things in our community. And as I look back over the thousands of faces, if you will, that I've seen in hallways and been in meetings with, in and out of our schools, I know that access matters. I know that exposure matters to changing the trajectory of kids in our city. And so I'm excited. I'm excited of what's ahead for me personally, but more than that, I'm excited for what's ahead for LITE Memphis. I think we have a great opportunity just for continued growth and impact in our city.
I couldn't agree with you more. And we're, as a native Memphian, I will welcome you to Memphis. We're glad you and your husband and children are here. And
Thank you.
I always love to hear, particularly when we steal a quality person from East Tennessee, we can bring them to Memphis and West Tennessee. I love that. So
yeah, we'll be here for a while.
Now next week we're going to feature Cummins Inc., which I know just through their charitable arm, Cummins Cares, just announced a gift to LITE Memphis. Tell us a little bit about the partnership between LITE Memphis and Cummins.
We are so grateful for the support that's coming from Cummins. It's a $450,000 grant to be spread out over 3 years. And quite frankly, our work would not be able to be as effective in our city if it wasn't for generous support, such as what's coming from Cummins. The support of corporations such as them really helps us to be able to take a step back and think strategically about how we want to support students and how we want to support families, and how we want to ultimately create students and future business leaders here in our city. So we could not say thank you more to Cummins for their generous support in that way, and what it's going to enable us to be able to accomplish on behalf of students in programming.
Well, I encourage everybody to look out for that episode next week, and we'll talk with them about their commitment to LITE Memphis. And it's a good model if you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, you're looking to give back to the community. This is a great way that it's going to be aligned with your business mission. And that's what I like about it, is that, there are probably lots of things where I could volunteer that I've never done, but
Right.
I know about a business, and hopefully I can give back a little bit and help somebody. And, if everybody out there just gave a little bit, Larissa wouldn't know what to do with all the help, but I'm sure she's would be willing to learn. So
I would be willing to learn and figure it out. Absolutely.
very
Absolutely.
good. Well, Larissa, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. I'm looking, send me, you've got my email address, send me my marching orders to be a mentor, and I'm looking forward to getting involved. And I sure appreciate the work you're doing, and the work that, like Memphis and all the people that are working, because I know you've got just a ton of folks that are helping. You can always use more help, but these sorts of things are not successful on their own. It takes a lot of help to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on. And you're exactly right. We have a phenomenal staff that works incredibly hard every single day to make sure that students have what they need, and mentors and donors and all of those wonderful, fantastic people behind the scenes. So thank you so much. And I look forward to having you as a mentor, and I look forward to having additional mentors sign up as well.
Can't wait. All right. So I want to thank everybody for listening. Consider giving an hour or two a week to some community effort. If we all did that, it would be amazing, the transformation we would see in this city. Because all it takes is for good people to just do a little bit, and you can change the world. So if you've enjoyed this, please share it on social media, email it to folks that you think might benefit from it. Email me, call our office, let us know if there are particular topics or guests that you would like for us to spotlight in the future. And Larissa Gregory is going to go inspire budding Memphis entrepreneurs, and I'm going to get some justice.